Hamnet Review, a raw and relentless dive into how grief fuels genius. Imagine a film that dares to stare straight into the abyss of parental loss, claiming that such heartbreak birthed one of literature's greatest tragedies. That's the bold premise of Hamnet, director Chloé Zhao's latest work, and it's one that grips you right from the start, urging you to ponder whether art can truly heal the deepest wounds of the soul. But here's where it gets controversial. Does this movie succeed in capturing that raw power, or does it stumble in its earnestness? Stick around, because we're about to unpack this adaptation of Maggie O'Farrell's 2008 novel, exploring its strengths, its missteps, and the bigger questions it raises about creativity and mourning. At its heart, Hamnet is a speculative historical drama set in the 16th century, following the life of a man named Will, played by Mescal, and his wife Agnes, Jessie Buckley, as they navigate love, family, and unimaginable sorrow. For beginners unfamiliar with period pieces, these are films that recreate historical eras with meticulous attention to costumes, settings, and customs. The movie strives for authenticity, yet it peppers in modern-sounding phrases that feel jarringly out of place. Take Agnes's fiery outburst, "Don't shush me." She snaps at Will during a tense marital spat. It's an odd verbal throwback that mirrors the film's broader shortcomings. While Hamnet aims to delve into profound grief and how art can articulate the unspeakable, it often hammers home its messages with relentless repetition, creating an emotional tone that's surprisingly flat and repetitive, almost like a one-note symphony that grows exhausting over time. The story traces Will and Agnes's relationship from their early romance to the devastating aftermath of their son Hamnet's, Jacoby Jupe, death, which the film posits as a catalyst for William Shakespeare's iconic play Hamlet. As a fun historical tidbit, the opening quote explains that Hamlet and Hamnet were essentially the same name in Old English back then, adding a layer of poignant symmetry. Mescal's character isn't outright named as Shakespeare until the end, but subtle nods to his future fame appear, such as when Hamnet and his twin sister Judith, Olivia Lyons, along with their older sister Susanna, Bodie Ray Brethnock, dress up as the witches from Macbeth and reenact the play's eerie opening lines. This family scene? It's a fleeting glimmer of joy in an otherwise heavy film, full of foreboding. Their innocent fun feels contrived, almost like it's only there to heighten the contrast with the tragedies that loom ahead, much like a storm cloud gathering before the rain. Cinematographer Chloé Zhao's camera work alternates between broad, carefully composed wide shots and intimate, blurry close-ups, but Zhao's direction doesn't linger on the subtleties of character dynamics. Instead, it tries to squeeze maximum emotion from every glance or pause, which can feel overwhelming long before the family's world collapses. And yet, Hamnet isn't devoid of touching moments that pierce through the melodrama, like Will's explosive clash with his domineering father, David Wilmot, or Agnes's chaotic second childbirth experience, where Hamnet, initially presumed lifeless, miraculously gasps for air. The leads deliver performances that flicker with unpredictability, with Mescal bringing a mysterious edge that hints at the more nuanced film this could have been if the tone varied more. It's unfortunate, though, that the characters come across as underdeveloped, especially Agnes, portrayed as a free-spirited falconer and herbalist, a kind of proto-hippie healer whose outsider vibe doesn't always ring true. For those new to Zhao's work, compare this to her earlier triumphs in The Rider and Nomadland, where she masterfully infused quiet despair into the struggles of everyday folks in tough environments. In those films, a subtle sadness bubbled beneath the surface, enhanced by loose, natural staging and non-professional actors whose realness drew you in without overpowering the story. Here, the intense trauma of losing a child gets only a surface-level skim, lacking the lyrical depth that the vast, empty landscapes of rural America provided in her prior projects. The misty skies and cramped lanes of Elizabethan England, that 16th century England, for context, just don't evoke the same poetic resonance. And this is the part most people miss. Hamnet's most compelling visuals emerge when ideas are hinted at indirectly. Before and after his early death, Hamnet appears in a glowing, ethereal space that evokes both the afterlife and the backstage of a theater, cleverly tying together death and artistic creation. There's also a quick, intriguing shot of Will watching a street puppet show, blurring the lines between reality and fantasy in a way that's more engaging than the actual stage premiere of Hamlet that closes the film. The movie blends elements of magical realism, think subtle, dreamlike touches, with old-fashioned Shakespearean dialogue and gritty family conflicts, creating an eerie, otherworldly vibe that could have explored the parents' unfathomable pain and its lasting psychological scars in a truly compelling way. But Zhao and O'Farrell's straightforward, literal approach to storytelling prevents any deeper magic from taking hold. The narrative builds predictably to a cathartic ending, offering a sense of release, yet it risks trivializing grief by implying a simple play can mend it all. Moreover, it oversimplifies the genius of Shakespeare by suggesting his masterpiece stems directly and tidily from personal heartbreak, ignoring the messy, unpredictable nature of inspiration. Score: 7 out of 10. Cast: Jessie, Buckley, Agnes, Paul Mescal, Will, Emily Watson, Joe Alwyn, Jacoby Jupe, Hamnet, Olivia Lyons, Judith, Justine Mitchell, David Wilmot, Louisa Harland, Freya Hannon Mills, Bodie Ray Brethnock, Noah Jupe. Director: Chloé Zhao. Screenwriters: Chloé Zhao, Maggie O'Farrell. Distributor: Focus Features. Running time: 125 minutes. Rating: PG-13. Year: 2025. Venue: BFI London Film Festival. If you're intrigued by this review, consider supporting Slant Magazine. Since 2001, we've delivered fearless, honest insights into film, music, TV, video games, theater, and beyond. As an independent outlet, we've weathered tough times, but we're dedicated to keeping our content free. No paywalls here. If our work resonates with you, think about subscribing via Patreon, https://www.patreon.com/slant, or donating through PayPal, https://www.paypal.com/donate/?, hosted to an ID =PS6LWWCK87X5E. Your support helps us continue. What do you think? Does Hamnet honor the transformative power of loss, or does it reduce Shakespeare's brilliance to mere biography? Some might argue that the film's literalness is its strength, providing clarity in a story of chaos. Others could say it misses the mark by not embracing ambiguity. I'd love to hear your take in the comments. Agree that Zhao's earlier films outshine this one, or disagree and share why you see it differently. Let's discuss.